The Triforce, or otherwise known as the Ultimate Power, is a golden relic left behind by 3 golden goddesses named Ferrol, the goddess of courage, Din, the goddess of power, and Nehru, the goddess of wisdom. These powerful goddesses created the land of Hyrule and quickly left their creation behind, but tasked the goddess Hylia to protect Hyrule and the Triforce. Having such a powerful artifact laying around, it was only a matter of time before someone or something tried to steal it. Demise and his evil demons broke through a fissure in the earth and pursued control of the Triforce. Hyrule's protector Hylia battled hard with her sword, known as the Goddess Sword, and pushed back Demise and his followers and eventually managed to seal him away. However, all was not good, as Hylia had suffered grave injuries during the battle and knew that the seal would not hold forever. To combat this, she made several preparations for the Demon King's inevitable return, one of which was creating Phi, a spirit that would reside in the Goddess Sword, which would later assist the chosen hero throughout his journey. But more importantly, Hylia chose to be reborn as a mortal, which we now know to be Princess Zelda. But like Hylia predicted, Demise did return many years later in the form of Ganondorf. Although an incarnation of Demise, Ganondorf is a lot more cunning and intelligent than before, but he still makes one huge mistake. During the child section of Ocarina of Time, Ganondorf has a plan to acquire the Triforce using 3 spiritual stones: the Kokiri's Emerald, guarded by the Great Deku Tree, the Goron's Ruby, protected by Urrutia, and the Zora's Sapphire, closely held by Princess Ruto. These sacred stones open a magical door called the Door of Time. The Door of Time protects the chamber of the Master Sword in the ancient Temple of Time. It serves as a barrier to the sacred realm, which holds the mythical Triforce. Knowing that the 3 protectors of the stones will not hand them over willingly, Ganondorf curses the Great Deku Tree, which ends with the Deku Tree dying from his curse. He also infests the Dongo's Cavern with monsters, which massively impacts the Goron's food source, and he also places a deadly parasite on Lord Jabu Jabu, the Zora Guardian. This forces Link to rise as the hero and undo all the curses and defeat all the monsters to retrieve the stones himself. But when he returns to Hyrule Castle town, he finds that Ganondorf has already laid siege to the town and drove Princess Zelda out. He allows Link to open the Door of Time using the stones, and then stepping in once Link draws the Master Sword from the pedestal. Link is then placed into a 7-year slumber. With Link unable to stop him, Ganondorf enters the sacred realm and claims the Triforce for himself. This would become Ganondorf's biggest mistake. Due to his unbalanced heart, the Triforce split into 3 pieces. Ganondorf keeping only the Triforce of Power for himself because his heart desired power most of all. Fully engulfed and rich with the power of the Triforce, Ganondorf begins to take his place as Hyrule's ruler and usurper, but his responsibilities of ruling Hyrule and being its protector are heavily neglected. Ganondorf cares very little about the land itself, even allowing his own tribe, the Gerudo, who raised him as one of their own, to remain abandoned in the harsh climate of the desert. He even attempts genocide on the Goron race by incarcerating them and feeding them to the ancient fire dragon Volvagia, for Ganondorf has another goal in mind: obtaining the 2 other pieces of the Triforce. The Triforce split into 3 pieces, with power going to Ganondorf, wisdom going to Zelda, and courage going to Link. Ganondorf's plan was to capture Zelda, who was currently in hiding. By doing this, it would lure Link to his castle to save Zelda, and Link would bring the Triforce of Courage willingly into his domain. Ganondorf would now have the full Triforce all in one tiny room. All he had to do was kill Link and take out a helpless Zelda, and he would have the ultimate power. But as we know, Ganondorf fails to defeat Link in battle, which allows the sages to seal Ganondorf away in the Sacred Realm. Zelda then sends Link back in time to before they met, which allows Child Link to warn Zelda and the King about Ganondorf before leaving for Termina, and they decide to execute him. In Twilight Princess, we are shown that the execution failed, and the sages sent him to the Twilight Realm instead, where he met Zahn and managed to get out with his help, which took many years. He then met his end when Link slayed him at the end of the game. Ganondorf's biggest mistake was thinking that raw power would be enough to defeat a squishy Hylian blessed with the power of courage. Had Ganondorf understood the abilities within the Triforce of Courage and sought after the piece, he would have succeeded in defeating Link. The Triforce of Courage is easily the most powerful piece of the relic, mainly because it gives Link the ability and will to keep going through dungeon after dungeon after dungeon. Link violently pursues his quest to save Hyrule, battling foes 50 times stronger than his Hylian body can handle, and Link prevails every time. Link has the courage to fight on. Even after hours of running and swimming and fighting, he continues to stand toe to toe with his enemies, and eventually when brought face to face with Ganondorf wielding the raw power of the Triforce, Link is victorious. Ganondorf tries every move and trick to overcome Link, casting precision spells at high speed toward Link, with Link easily slashing them right back with his Master Sword. He attempts to crush Link and Zelda under his castle by forcing it to collapse and turn to rubble, and even emerges as his true powerful beast form Ganon, and yet he is unable to bring Link to his knees. You see, courage is a symbol, and the symbol stands for a hero who isn't afraid to die for the ones he loves, a hero who would sacrifice himself to save the world. Link had a huge heart. He cared for every living thing within Hyrule, the Kokiri, the Gorons, the Zora, and even the Gerudo thieves who were hated and feared by the other races. Link's courage allowed him to make friends and allies, which is what led to Ganondorf's defeat, and this is something that Ganondorf never understood. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, be sure to drop a like, and why not consider subscribing for more Zelda videos like this one. Also remember to follow me over on Twitter, and if you'd like, you can always check out our amazing Discord server too. All links will be in the description box below. Also, if you'd like to help support the channel, then consider joining via YouTube membership for as little as 99 pence a month. And once again, thank you so much, and I'll catch you next time.